Alright, hello once again. This is Jeff Scott of Rankin Technical College, and as part of the Rankin Technical College AWD1111 class for the fall 2020 semester at Rankin, I've been doing a series of video presentations based on our textbook for the class, that being Get Programming with Node.js by Jonathan Wexler, a Manning publication. I am coming towards the end of Unit 1, which is lesson or Chapter 7, whatever you want to call it, and we're in 7.3 of 6. So the author says, now that we've set up the folder structure, we want to add the main programming logic to the site to get it serving files on port 3000. We're going to keep the routes in a separate file, so we'll need to require that file along with the FS module. Alright, so we create a new file named main.js. I've already done that. Within that file we assign the port number. We require the HTTP and HTTP status codes and the soon to be built custom modules, router, content types, and utils. They're all done. The content and utils, as it says, are used to organize variables within main. So look at what we've got here. We're setting up a constant for the port. Alright, we're requiring the HTTP module, the HTTP-status-codes module. We're setting router equal to the router.js file, so we're able to use that. We're setting content types equal to, or requiring, I should say, if we're not equal to, the content types.js file, and utils for requiring the utils.js file. So that has been created already. Alright, I've got that right here. There we go. Now it's telling me right now it's all great, and it says I'm not using any of these variables, which I guess right now is probably true. The application won't start until we create the local module, so we'll start by creating contenttypes.cs using the code that's shown in the listing below. In this file, we're exporting an object that maps file types to their header values for use in the responses. So in other words, are they HTML files? Are they text files? Are they JavaScript files? Are they JPEG or PNG files? Are they CSS files? Later, we'll access the HTML content type in main by using the contenttypes.html file. Again, this one has also been created already. So I've got main done, and I've got content types done. Now with main, I may have to go back and reinstall that status codes thing that we've talked about before. I think the next one is utils. Yes, it is. Next, we set up a function used to read the file contents in a new utils module. Within utils.js, we add the code that's shown there. It's about 15 lines. We export an object containing a get file function. Alright, as it says, this function looks for a file at the path that's been provided, and if it doesn't exist, it returns an error page, and that's what we're doing in here. Alright, so if there's an error, we're going to return an internal server error status, and there was an error serving content. Otherwise, we're going to return the data. Alright, and this requires our file system module, our HTTP-status-codes, and the content types. Alright, and finally, it says last, in a new file, we have the code in listing 7.6. This is the router.js file, and it's shown in your book on the bottom half of page 75. Make that 78. Alright, the router module includes a routes object that holds key value pairs mapped to the GET request through the GET function and post request through the post function. The handle function is one referred to as the callback to create server in main.js. Again, we will go over this in much more depth and breadth of coverage in the actual classroom. The get and post functions take a URL and callback and then map them to each other in the routes object. If no route is found, we use the get file to respond with an error message. So again, as you saw previously, we're requiring this rather. Many of these, basically all of these files are requiring one another. All right, we've got our get, we've got our post. Notice we're using a try catch here. We're trying to basically do the mapping here. And if we get any kind of error, we're going to bring up our error.html file. All right, and here we'll handle the get, here we'll handle the post. All right, to get the application to run, we need to set up the application's routes and views, which is what's done next. I believe right now if we try to run this, it's not going to, even if it runs, it's not going to give us any kind of output because we have nothing in our view files. Those 5 view files, the index.html, the contact.html, the error.html, and the other 2. There's nothing in there. So we'll come back and we will create the code that goes into those files in just a couple minutes.